All right, I think I'm all set then. Let's start. So welcome everyone. My name is Rui Adorno. Whoa. uh, so I'm a local from Montreal. I've been living here for almost 11 years now. So it's one of my greatest accomplishments of my life, like becoming a Canadian citizen. So yeah, I really love the people here. Really love the country. Just the weather at this time of the year starts. It's not so great. But yeah, and I recently, it's been 3 months now, almost 4. I joined NPM. So now I work at the open source team with Darcy. You might have seen his talk yesterday. Yeah, so you can find me at these places. And I have, before anything, I have to also thank Joel because I totally just stole his CLI slideshow. So that little guy there is actually Joel over there. Thank you so much. All right. So we're here today to talk about CLI, right? I hope everyone here loves CLI, right? Quick show of hands. Who uses CLI on a day-to-day basis? Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay. It is the right crowd. So, yeah. This is a quick talk, and the goal here is just like for people to start, people that are not doing yet, start creating their own command lines. People who maybe are already doing, maybe you learn about a thing or two. So yeah, let's get to it. Quick overview. So we're gonna go through understanding CLI commands, just a quick basic of how to define a reusable command, how to compose commands using Unix pipelines, and then add interactivity. Like let's sprinkle a little magic on top of it, and then go, like, of course, let's use Node.js with it. So yes, this quick disclaimer. You're about to see a graphic designer by formation giving a talk about the command line interface, which, yeah, and I think it makes a lot of sense. It is a great user interface, and there's something that maybe sometimes people don't realize. Because our very communication is word-based, right? We think in word terms. Word, they link into things in our minds, right? So, and developers are always looking to reuse things, right? And words are really key words in our minds, and we're gonna map them into things we wanna do, right? So that's what makes the CLI, the command line interface, so powerful, because basically the commands, they're reusable stuff, right? We love to reuse stuff. And basically we're storing commands, we're doing our workflow, and these commands is just something that, okay, oh yeah, now I need to do this thing, oh yeah. So maybe the command is run, maybe the command is like, run my project. It's gonna map to something in your mind, it's gonna make sense to you, and it's going to be reusable. So, all right. I'm gonna go through a bunch of quick examples. So very adventurous here, gonna do a lot of live coding stuff, but it's gonna be fun. Yeah, it's fun stuff. So, so not gonna jump into Node yet. So quick thing, like basically here, I'm gonna use the cat command, basically that prints out contents of a file, right? So here I'm just going to define like, okay, I want to create a new command. It's gonna be foo. Like for now, it's only gonna be catting things. Like gotta just like print it out. So that's like step like 1, the very most basic thing. Like defining an alias is one of the ways to create your own command. In this case, doesn't do much because, well, that's already a built-in thing. So, but sometimes you want to maybe use a variation of a command, right? Command that takes a flag, like, okay, like git status. So like git status, usually it's going to print all this info, right? And let's say you like the S flag, which turns into this more pretty printed things, way of displaying the status of your Git repo right now. So yeah, okay, let's make, okay, status. Okay, that's gonna be my new command. Like I like that thing. Like I wanna be reusing that. So from now on, every time, okay, I wanna do status, but the way I like it. So you basically like git status, like you have that alias is a new command you can use and reuse. And you can also like make it more versatile. Like there is also the function, the bash function way of defining it. So basically, in this one over here, I'm just going to, hey, get status. And then I'm just basically going to be setting a parameter. So now I can send down the S flag or some other ones, like not, yeah, so it's going to do the very same thing the other one did, right? But basically, just to showcase the bash functions too, is also something we can do. So yeah, using Node, like fun thing I did too, like I just went on NPM real quick, like let's find a useful library we could use to do something fun, right? So basically in this case, I'm just using some load library. I'm just invoking the node runner itself, and I'm requiring right away, right from bash, that command. And what it does is that, okay, if there is an offensive word there, it returns true, then it's going to print blocked. Otherwise, it's just going to print whatever was in it, right? So let's try it out. That starts to be more fun, right? So I already, for the sake of like making sure it doesn't derail too much, it's already NPM installed. So let's just create this new command here. So okay, node going to print that, and it's going to require offensive words filter. Thank you so much, whoever did this command. And it's going to take the word as an argument. I'm going to use that. And then if it's blocked, if it returns true, I don't want to show anything. And otherwise, let's print whatever was that there. And then I close this thing, and then I close my function. So let's print safe. Oh, hi. Yay, there's nothing offensive in this word. It works well. So let's print safe. Oh, fuck. Oh, blocked. Yeah, amazing. So yeah, basically just quick demo on how to use a node module, like even within bash itself. Yes, so moving on. Yeah, I think this is an interesting thing. Like, took me a while to realize as a designer. Like, I've been learning these things on my own for a long time. So basically, yeah, and you can also just define any file that is in your path environment variable is going to be available as a command, as long as that file is executable. So you can even, like, from the local installed modules, like, usually they're not available as command lines, right? Even though if they provide command line interfaces. Let's say Joel's thing over there, CLI slides, it is a command line thing, but right now it's not available at all. So if I go on and just like export my path, and I'm going to like this here, I'm concatenating it with whatever was already there, getting my current directory here, and like, okay, let's get everything that is in node modules bin, and that will be part of the path. So now, the command slides thing that I have, it's available. It's not going to work because it takes some other arguments. It's not the point. The point is that now your internal node module bin, like whatever local modules you have installed, they're available as a command for this prompt now. Like, and it's very, very useful too. Like, you can define your own path. You can have your own bin in your user local folder and be dropping your reusable commands there. It's something I do a lot, yeah. Yes. Also, package JSON scripts. This is a super handy way of like just for project based. I know the crowd is most Node.js, so probably you all know this one already, but it's a mandatory one I had to mention, right? So in your package JSON, you can define scripts, and those scripts, they can be run anytime later. So npm run, you can npm run hello. As long as hello is available as a script for that package JSON, it is going to run. You can reuse. A handy thing is that this way you can even reuse CLI tools that are local to that project without having to do the path thing, like npm does it for yourself, basically. So package JSON also supports the bin property. So basically, this allows you, this is what we know the publisher, the maintainers of module. That's what we use when we want to distribute command line tools on NPM, right? Then people can just NPM install it and like conveniently reuse it. So I tend to try to share all the things that I do and I find it like a little bit useful. I'm going to make it a quick node module, push to NPM. Then myself, I'll be reinstalling that later whenever I switch computers, whenever something happens. And other people can reuse, right? You can share to your coworkers. Oh, hey, yeah, I have a script for that. Like, just NPM install this thing. It's going to do it. So, and here we get to the composing commands, which is the powerful thing about Unix. Like the idea, Unix has this idea where every command is its own thing, and it tries to be like really specific. Some of them are really not. Like some of them get really busy with all the kinds of arguments and powerful things it does. But the idea is that you're gonna run ls. It's going to list the files that are in that folder, right? You're gonna run cat. It's going to like print the contents of that file. So you can do you can actually like combine those together and start creating like, okay, now I'm creating my own stuff. I'm reusing the basic commands that are available. You might be reusing some other commands that you installed from some other open source projects, and you can be combining them together and create your own workflow, and you can share it to people. So basically, a couple more examples, and this is where things start to get more risky because this might fail. Anyhow, let me see. Yeah, I think last time I had to delete this one. So let's just say find. Find is a command that allows you to list all the files. It's going to be like recursively traversing all the folders and like printing all the files. And you can specify arguments to start filtering out. Like in this case, I'm filtering, okay, just files that has the name that ends in .js. So it's going to print all the files that, oh, surprise, there's a lot of JS files in my node modules. So let's say, okay, I want to get Word file. I think I make sense of a command that I can reuse later, where I could like, oh, let's get all these files. And then I want to grep. Grep is one very handy command that allows you to filter items. So in this case, I want to be able to just like filter out one of these. So get Word file, it's going to traverse all these files, and I want to just like, oh, just give me the ones that has CLI on it. So you see the other one is gone, and if I just, okay, no, actually just Word. So all the CLI stuff is gone, it just prints the one that has Word on it, which is offensive word filter there. So this is like very basic first example of using the Unix pipeline, right? So the idea here is basically like the pipelines, you're combining the output coming from a command into the second command, right? So this is because it kinds of you connecting pipelines, and then the stream of information flows through them. And this is the origins of the stream library in a module in Node.js, which I always had a hard time with. And I wish I didn't miss the other talk from Matteo about it. But anyways, so all these concepts actually come from the Unix pipelines, where you can connect the commands together, right? So Xargs is a handy utility that helps out because when you're connecting those pipelines, you're connecting the standard output into the input of the next one. So when you have a command like cat that wants to receive an argument, Xargs is going to help you out. It's going to, okay, not connecting the standard input, I'm gonna read that thing as an argument. So in this case, let's make another handy command, print file. So again, the same recipe we had last time with the name and filtering JS. Then let's just select one. So basically continue from the idea of the last command, but this time let's print the contents of the file we just select, right? So print file, and okay, I want that Word file again, but this time print it. It failed. Not going to debug that one, but let's just do it this way. I'm gonna do it manually because I probably just got something wrong here. And I'm just gonna manually, like instead of using the argument, I'm just gonna hard type the word here, where the argument usually goes. And let's cat that. And there you go. Like my Word file, like I can see that module is actually very simple, very simple. It's just like reading from a term to block JSON. And like, and it does the logic, oh yeah, does it match anything in there? Return true, otherwise false. Oh no! What happened? Oh no. Oh. Is it rebooting? It was going wow. Okay, all good, all good. Let me move on. Yes. So, continue. Yes, you can also write down files from the pipelines. They have more operators. This is the only one I'm going to be showcasing. Like, basically, the greater than sign or smaller than. Anyways, it's going to get that stream and dump it into a file. So like very handy too. In this case, oh yeah, this is a fun one, yeah. So let me get back my demo.js. Yeah. So basically this one, let's build a command that's going to, okay, print out from the file I'm gonna send in, and then it's going to replace anything like SED, SED. Oh, I call it SED, not sure, probably not the right way to call it. It is going to replace things like in place. So it's basically just a string replacement, right? So I'm going to swap log for error in any of the stream of data that is flowing through here, right? And number 2 is going to be the second argument of my command. So I'm going to write it to a second file. So let just quick show what's going on here. Demo.js is basically doing the same thing that the other command was doing using the library, but this time is a JavaScript file itself. So it's just console log. So what I want with this is just, okay, let's replace log with error for any file that I send into this thing. So make error, and I send in demo.js, and okay, and I want to save an error.js from that. So I run it, and now I can see error.js has the same thing, but replaced log with error. So basically showcasing the writing to a file operator using the greater than operator and multiple arguments with the number 2 there. So yes, I hope we have seen the light. Like, okay, this is good. This is good. I can actually reuse this. Like, it's not rocket science, right? Hopefully, you're all good to go, like composing new workflows from the basic Unix commands that you already know. And then you're probably going to be interested in learning about some other more, like, because the more you know, the more commands you start learning about, the more ideas you're going to have. Oh yeah, this can actually be automated like that because could use that other tool that I just learned about. Yeah. So, and I like to introduce like a very, very cool, handy feature, basically also a Unix command that just allows you to turn any of this stream input like into interactive interfaces. So you can like just build things that are going to turn into interactive lists, and you can select one, and you can do whatever you want with the output of that stream. So yeah, basically, I call it ipipe2, the interactive pipe2 thing, but the command is ipt. So given any list in the shell, you can like, okay, listen the files there. So I can pipe that list of files into ipipe2, and it's going to build an interactive interface with it. Oh, nice. And then I can just like select one, and what it does is just prints whatever you select. So it's going to allow you to connect that to some other stuff. Then you can start creating really handy workflows right with that. So in this case, yeah, I'm just selecting, oh yeah, I have this other handy command here that, okay, let me just like interactively. Oh, nice. Oh, cool. Cozy mood. Oh no, what is going on? Anyway, so yeah, you're used to like CD, like in order to navigate, but it would be handy if you could just like, oh yeah, like, now I can see the list of files. I can just like select a folder in it and like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Very basic, just like showcase some examples. Another very basic one. You can have like a list of branch for a Git. Git also, like, because it has so many lists, right? It has list of branches, list of commits, list of remote repos you might pointing to. So you can do all sorts of like crazy ideas. Okay, let me connect the list of branches. Then I pipe that into the interactive thing. And then I can like, whoa, why not? I can check out into a different branch, right? So yeah, okay, yeah. So and then you check out, but like in this case it failed because I had some modified files, but you can get the idea. Yeah, and it has some handy options too. Like in this case, I have this command for printing files, and it's going to be a listing all the files in the folder, and I'm going to use this multiple argument, a -m, that is going to allow me to select multiple items on that list. So instead of being just like selecting one, it's going to be like more like filtering out the unselected files. So, oh yeah, let's print all of the things I selected in there. So print files is going to show me a handy list. There is now a checkbox sort of. And I can go and like, oh yeah, let's select the demo and the error. And it's going to pipe that info into cat that is going to print both of them. And we've seen that earlier, and you can see this is the same thing. So handling file names, basically, it also has like this very handy thing when you're dealing with Git, that when you're doing like Git status, in this case, that same fancy view with the notification in there, like showcasing the status for each file, right? I'm gonna use this handy -p option that is going to just try to parse the file path out of the item itself, so that I get rid of like the D's and M's and question marks, so that I can actually reuse that path right away, and I can just print the info for that one. So as you can see, the list still has the metadata in the beginning, but as soon as I select one, the next command works because the -p command like get rid of all the things that are not part of the file path there, the file name. Yeah, and last thing to showcase is the fuzzy finder autocomplete mode. So basically, I can I'm also going to take the opportunity here to show that you can also send in as a file name. So like I can send in just IPT, like the package JSON. So it's going to explode like the file into for each line, it's going to become an item. And then the argument is actually -a. This is wrong in the slide there. Sorry about it. But then it's just going to filter out based on what you're typing, like an autocomplete kind of thing. You can description. So selecting that line. So I'm gonna output it. So yeah, all crazy ways to do cool commands, like interactive commands with it. Just throwing out like a real quick thing I put together for the demo. How many of you know about the Pacoche CLI? Like it was recently released as a non-CLI. So basically, it's one of the NPM internals. So it allows you to fetch metadata, fetch maybe just like the tarball, but not NPM installing everything that goes with it. So basically, I did like this npm install version command here that is going to use metadata from the npm to basically build a list of all the versions, list them, and when you select one, it's going to npm install that exact version. So real quick, NIV, and then I'm gonna npm install. In this case over here, I'm kind of hard coding the name of the package, but the idea is kind of argument, and then I'm gonna be sending into Node because I wanna be able to parse that metadata to retrieve just the result of that Kochi call and that thing over there. Yes. I'm gonna get only the versions. And then I'm going to turn this into a string. And then I'm going to pipe that into IPT. What did I go wrong? Okay. This one is too complicated. I should have saved it for this. But anyways, let me showcase like Pacument, Pacochi Pacument, what it's going to do. Then you're going to get the idea of it. Like so, basically, I'm fetching the metadata for a specific package. In this case, IPipe2 itself. Then I can get like a list of the versions. Oh no! Come on, didn't touch anything. Oh. When I was about to demo the cool NPM stuff. Oh. What do I do? Oh, it's coming. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You just need to walk in, and it's yeah. Thank you. So yes. So basically over here, I'm going to filter just the versions. So what I was doing with it is that I was going to use Node here real quick to just like get the keys of the version names of the version there, so that becomes more usable. Yeah, so I have a list of all the versions. So this list, what I was doing after that was like concatenating them, like making them a string of like just like we had the ls in other commands, right? And those I can like pipe into IPipe2, and then we can select one. And then with that selected one, I can just like pipe that into npm install and do like the name of the thing at that result. That thing I don't think is going to work. I had to do that all that other complex, crazy way, like this, and then like this, and then I could like npm install, and then module name at specific version. So I npm install 1.0. Woo! So yes, interactive commands are fun. And as a last one I wanted to showcase is the no task list. Is when I start digging into these, like sometimes it gets out of hand. So this one became like a kind of larger project. Like there's a lot of interest from the community, people that just jumped in and start contributing more. So it became kind of like larger package because it has like many features around it. It's just not the basic thing from IPipe2, but it uses IPipe2 to provide the same interface, right? So basically, NTL is going to list all the scripts you have in that package JSON, and once you select any of them, you just hit enter, it runs. So that's the basic idea of it, right? At that point, it's just like the basic IPipe2 kind of thing, but then it does all sort of things. Like, and this comes from the community contributions, like keep track of the last run command. So then you run it again, like it's already selected, right? Super handy if you're like using it day-to-day basis. Like, and also if you're just maybe it's a task you're running all the time, then you can remove the L. So it's not no task list, it's just run the no task. Like it just runs the latest one, so you can just like be running them again. And whenever you want to switch, you can like go back to the L. You can select multiple items. So like, okay, let's run both of them. Like same thing with the multiple, you still have them selected by default. So yeah, it's also available on NPM. You can NPM install NTL, NPM install IPipe2. Yeah, and I hope you all feel really confident about creating all these workflows. I'm going to make sure the slides are available so that you can use as a reference to start creating your own, right? Yeah. So thank you very much.